Hey, brother. Ben! Oh my god, I have such exciting news. Are you ready? Are you ready? No, you know what? I'm gonna make you wait. Roll the intro. Big Super Carlin Brothers announcement, Ben, but first, a story about Pokemon. Buckle up! Back in the day when I was but a young lad, I fell in love with a game called Pokemon, Ben, as did pretty much every single person I knew. And it's not hard to see why everyone loved it, Ben. I mean, there were so many ways to enjoy Pokemon, from the games themselves, to the anime, to the comics, to the toys, to the spin-off games, to the trading cards, to the collecting, to the creatures themselves, to the movies, to the Happy Meals, to just everything. And you might be saying, yeah, well, it grew to all that, but it wasn't always a big deal. Why did it grow so much? Well, here's my theory, Ben. You cannot lose at Pokemon. There is no game over in Pokemon. They've built in the illusion of losing. Like, sure, you can lose a trainer battle and your guys can faint, but to what consequence? You just respawn right back at the Pokemon Center. If you can't beat someone, you can keep fighting them until you do. You can go train against wild Pokemon until your guys are level 100 and then go kill everyone in the game. You can't lose. Can't beat the Elite Four? No big deal. Just keep fighting them over and over. Your guys will get stronger. Theirs won't. You can lose 100 times, but you only need to win once to be Pokemon champion. And once you realize this, replaying the game kind of loses some of its oomph. Because yeah, you can build different teams and try different movesets, but at the end of the day, you can't lose. Everything's going to be successful. You can't make a wrong decision. Yeah, maybe that's why the game's so successful. But at some point, Pokemon is a pretty long playthrough for not much of a challenge. That mentality turned me away from the series for a while until I learned about competitive battling and EV training, a method of training and breeding your Pokemon to absolute perfection. Some fans learned how to take advantage of the game mechanics to breed perfect stats onto their Pokemon well within the rules of the game. You don't have to cheat or anything, you just have to be very meticulous about how you train them. This was a brand new way to play the game. It was a whole new challenge. Just getting the right movesets and the right breeding and all that cool stuff was a puzzle that I loved. It was my new hobby. Breeding and training Pokemon. Until I had about 15 super godly Pokemon and I realized, I'm not battling anyone. So just battle someone, right? Yeah, well, no, because guess what? It turns out that most of my college buddies weren't that into EV training their Pokemon. Weird, right? So my interest waned once more, but eventually the Pokemon bug bit again, as it always does. Determined to make the game more challenging, I set rules for myself while playing through the game, like something I called Gym Leader Mode, where you could only use a single type of Pokemon throughout the game. Challenging enough, but actually, no, it's not even that challenging, and it falls victim to the exact same problem. You can't lose. Eventually, no matter what the type disadvantage, your guys can blow through anything. Okay, new rules. You can only use 2 Pokemon in your entire lineup. Ha! Beat that. Seemed interesting, except those 2 Pokemon get saturated with all of the experience in the entire game and can blow through everything. But then one glorious day, Ben, we got a comment from a viewer, Paradoxal Answerish, or however the crap you say that, and they introduced me to the Nuzlocke challenge. In Nuzlocke, if one of your Pokemon faints, it is considered dead and must be released. Well, no big deal. I'll just catch a ton of Pokemon, right? Wrong. The second rule is that you can only catch the first thing you run into in any given area, which limits not only the number of things you can catch, but what you can catch, depending on what that first Pokemon is. And if all of your Pokemon die, Ben, you can finally lose at Pokemon. And that brings me to my big announcement, Ben, the next step for the Super Carlin Brothers. Super Carlin Gaming! Ben, I have just launched a new channel called Super Carlin Gaming, which you can subscribe to right here. I am so excited about this. The first video is already uploaded, and it is going to be a Nuzlocke run through Pokemon. So there is no question of the day today. I just encourage everyone to go check out the new channel, leave a comment, ask a question, leave a suggestion. Even if you're not into Pokemon, it can still get pretty dramatic, you know, what with stuff dying and things. So I really encourage you and hope you'll go check this out. I can't wait to see you over there, and I'm very excited about this new project. I've always wanted to do a playthrough, and I finally figured out how to do it. That'll do it for me today, though, Ben. I will see you in another life, brother.